membership services, which shows and taught us all a lot of things about how to think about taking care of a membership. And two, with a unique perspective because she hadn't been here before. So bringing in some new thoughts, some new ideas, some new energy into the way that we think about how we service the membership has been a tremendous addition to the organization. We're going to spend the next hour, welcoming and talking a little bit about the new members that we have added over the course of the next year. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to get to know some of the organizations that may be new faces and to spend some time thinking about how we might work with and most appropriately welcome those organizations into the NetHope family. Alex? Thank you. Sorry, that was a little short. Do you need the clicker?
Yeah.
It's right up there.
Thank you. Hi, good afternoon. I'm Alex Albert. I'm the membership director here at NetHope. It's wonderful to see so many of you in person. I often Skype and email and WhatsApp and many other things with you, so it's great to see you all in person. Before I get started in introducing our new members, I'd like to start off with a video that was a pleasant surprise that we got last week. A year ago in Copenhagen, we had the honor of having Jan Egeland from Norwegian Refugee Council speak to us about his view of the world, what it's going to look like with the refugee crisis going on in the world, and how it's going to impact us and many generations to come. In the recent board meeting, we had a board member suggest that we hear back from some of our speakers from last year to get some reflection on what's happened over the year. And thanks to Pietro's help and the team at NRC, we were able to arrange this video. So please join me in watching this video.
I'm Jan Egeland, Secretary General of NRC, a proud NetHope member. I've been a humanitarian worker on and off since I was 18. We have never been as challenged as we are now, and we have never needed the help of technology as we need it now. And here's my challenge to you as technology friends. We need to be in proximity to those in greatest needs that we are failing today, and you can help us, I think. We're failing people inside Syria, in Afghanistan, in Somalia, in South Sudan, and elsewhere for the following reasons. We lack connectivity with our aid workers when we need it the most. How can I communicate with? How can I know they are safe? How can I enable my people in the deepest field? Secondly, how can we communicate with the beneficiaries when they need to communicate with us the most because they're attacked, abused, they're under war threats, and they are threatened by natural disasters? How can we monitor help in areas where there is no international presence, where it is hardest to see where the help goes? How can we make sure that our needs assessments are good if we cannot really send our international experts there because they are threatened by terrorism and others? How can we stay as a protective force for those who need it the most? How can we document abuse? How can we understand what is happening? Lots of challenges. In short, we're good when it is safe. We're not good when everybody is in the crossfire. You and NetHope has been the best news since Santa Claus for NRC. We have gotten so much help through this network. I hope you can continue to help all of the humanitarian organizations as you have so far. And I wish you all the best with your meeting. And I am crossing my fingers with you for the American elections tomorrow.
That was a very pleasant surprise from last week that we received. So it was an honor to have him at the last year's summit, and now it's an honor to have Norwegian Refugee Council as one of our members. This last year, as Lauren mentioned, we welcomed 6 new members, and it's such a great pleasure to be here to introduce them to all of you, to our members, to our sponsors, and to the NGO community. This year, we have, with the growth in the summit participation and in the growth of membership and sponsorship, we have moved our fast pitch to videos. And many of you have done videos. We've had a great time watching them, and it's still not too late. Frederick and I walk around with a tripod here and there, and happy to take more videos. But please take some time this week to watch the videos on sketch.org and listen to people's fast pitch. Our sponsors and members have worked hard on those videos, and we hope that you enjoy them. So I'd like to start off by welcoming Pietro Galli from Norwegian Refugee Council. Hopefully you're in here. Oh yes, thank you, Pietro. You can come on up, please. Pietro and his team at Norwegian Refugee Council don't really seem like new members because they have been so visible in the last year, hosting chapter meetings, leading working groups, and many other things. But we're delighted to have him, and you're still officially a new member till tomorrow.
Yep. All right.
Yep, not going. Okay, well, you start introducing yourself then.
I thought we had done our video, and actually Max has done the video, and so we did a great job. Yeah, what should I say?
Who are
This is
you?
completely
Who's
different.
here?
Okay, so I'm here with Mads, operations manager, Max, yeah. And this year we brought less Oslo and more field, and we have Suhail, who is our Middle East regional IT coordinator. And so if you're working in the Middle East, we'd like you to talk to him also about possibly a chapter meeting there. Yeah, we have grown tremendously thanks to the membership in NetHope and the relationship and exchange that we've had with you. Last Friday we went to Seattle and we had a day of exchange with PATH, and that was extremely enlightening to us and hopefully a bit for them. But yeah, we really believe in what we have seen, and we are committed to stay and to actually contribute. I think one of the realizations that we have is that there is space to do new work, there is a space to push, and it is really up to us to make this happen at a different or even higher level. What we put into it is what we can get out of it. So, yeah.
Great.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for the input.
So I'm unable to click back here, so if you guys back there could potentially move the slides, Alex, that'd be great. Okay. So our next member, we actually use we've been thankful to have the chapter meetings all over the world, and the European chapters have been very helpful in bringing in new members, introducing them to the NetHope family. And this next member, Jørgen Skiller from Danish Refugee Council, has joined us this last year. And Jørgen, if you could join us and tell us a little bit about your team.
Okay. Hello, and I'm glad to be here. I'm here with Thomas, sitting there, who is a program and portfolio manager in DRC and has already taken part of the value chain in working group in NetHope. And to tell a little bit about Danish Refugee Council, which is not to be intervened with Norwegian Refugee Council. We are brothers, and that's it. And but we compete. Is that we work primarily in our own time zone. That's great. We have a lot of doing in the MENA region, Middle East, North Africa, a little bit south of Sahara, a lot south of Sahara, East and West Africa, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Myanmar, and Colombia. And we also have, which is I think a little bit unique, a very big Danish operation where we teach foreigners Danish. And if you want to live in Denmark, you bloody gotta learn Danish. And that is not only refugees, it's also people coming to study in Denmark and to work in Denmark. And we're quite successful in that part. And that is public tenders, so we're quite competitive in that area as well. And being new to the NGO sector, it has been a great pleasure for me to be part of NetHope. Oh, well, yes, it is. Being part of NetHope, where I've learned a lot about what is going on in the very challenging environment. And I have the great pleasure of formerly been working with, for many years ago, with connectivity. It's a lot easier to do in Denmark than in Africa, but I have some things that I can draw upon on that part. And what I think I can contribute to is that we have a very, very old systems. I think it's quite impressive to make an organization work with a yearly revenue turnover of around $400 million US dollars, and doing most of the works on paper and Excel sheets. That's quite impressive, and we're doing well. So if you want to know how to build from scratch a new IT infrastructure, system, organization, and everything else, then come back in a few years, and I'll tell you. And I'm also very pleased, will be pleased if you want to hear something about what's going on in the meantime on our path to that place there. And we are also celebrating a sort of anniversary. It's not a 15-year like NetHope, it is 60 years, because we were a temporary organization set up in 1956 after the Hungarian refugee crisis. Well, it's an anniversary year, this one. And I think that should be it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jørgen. And I think everything America's a little bit younger than we celebrate our anniversaries much later than yours in Europe. So I'd like to introduce a dear friend to NetHope who's here in a different role with a different organization, Rui Lopez, who is leading the technology team for HIAS, one of the world's oldest refugee organizations. Rui.
So hello, everyone. My name is Rui Lopes, for those of you that don't know me. I have, while I'm currently head of IT for HIAS, I sense a theme here of refugees and refugee organizations, so it's nice to be in good company. Mike Mitchell is not here. Is Mike here yet? Not sure no. I think he's coming later in the week, as is our CFO, is also very interested in attending. The the excitement within HIAS is that our CFO hails from the same place that I hailed from in a former life, which was Save the Children. I was actually joined at the hip, well, not literally, I mean, he's kind of cute, but with Ed Happ, when he started NetHope, I reported to Ed, and so that's when I became kind of involved with NetHope. And so from that long-standing relationship, through Save the Children, our CFO, myself, have now brought HIAS into the fold. And much like the former speaker just before me, so we took over some leadership for HIAS. It used to be the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society. So if you're wondering what HIAS stands for, right? And the organization basically rebranded because it wasn't just the Jewish faith, it was all faiths that we were resettling and helping. So thus the acronym now. And we felt, so when we came to HIAS a couple of years ago for Farhan and just in January for me, the organization was quite politically correct. They were really behind in IT, all right? I mean, I don't even think they had IT is just the way to put it. And I don't mean to say that in a slanderish way, but it was really an organization that was fairly small. And when they looked at IT, they looked at it from a very almost isolated and consumer point of view, right? And not that we have to spend lots of money on IT sometimes, but we do need to have that enterprise view, and we do need to have that collaborative view. So very honored and happy that NetHope accepted us as a member, and absolutely looking forward to working with all of you, for those of you that I have not worked with in the past, to make HIAS and NetHope more successful than ever before. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily. Eleanor Myers, are you here? Oh, great. Eleanor Myers, who is the head of technology for MedAir, has joined us this last year. She's taken an active role as part of the agenda steering committee. So she got involved very fast and helped shape what this week would look like. So thank you and welcome.
Thanks, Alex. Well, you did a good job in looping me in. So I'm glad to be here. Last year in Copenhagen, I was the kind of checking out NetHope potential member, but actually I came from a very large NGO who was one of the founding members of NetHope. And I just joined MedAir like a year and a half ago. How many of you have heard of MedAir? Oh, quite a few. That's good. So MedAir is a Swiss-based NGO, and we do humanitarian work only. So we work in emergency response to natural disasters, and also we work in critical, like kind of protracted crises as well. So MedAir was started in 1989 as a purely volunteer organization. They only started paying people like a few years in. And currently we're about 60 million in revenue in total. And because we only do humanitarian work, so not having any subsidy from development work, IT development, investment in IT has been really difficult. So when I joined a year and a half ago, there's just a lot of work that needs to be done. And I know we can't try to reinvent the wheel in a small organization, and that's why NetHope is a really important organization for us to join. And since then, my managers had been to the European chapters, and they're certainly very useful meetings. It being here, I can only come by myself. Some of the things that I think as MedAir, as a very small organization, some of the benefits of that is it's very agile. So even though at head office in Switzerland, we were not necessarily thinking or being able to invest in a lot of technology, the field people are amazingly innovative. And so MedAir in the circle that we moved in is actually considered quite innovative in the use of technology. So an example of that is actually in Lebanon, MedAir's team is the lead agency for the interagency mapping project for UNHCR. So that started in 2015, and this year, that started in the Bekaa Valley, and now they're doing it across all of Lebanon. And so that's using GIS, using some of the tools to register beneficiaries and all of that. So that's something that I think we hope we can contribute even as a small organization, that while we may not have all the investment. So I'm certainly here to suck up a lot of what you guys have learned in terms of building infrastructures and rolling out supply chain management systems and all of that. But at the same time, I'm happy to be in a place where you can actually be part of the strategy and also kind of working with the field to make things happen and taking things from the field and just rolling that out. So that's something that I think has been working well for us. In the last year, we started rolling out cloud-based infrastructure, so started using Box and the first country that was actually rolling out Box was in Afghanistan, so I was pretty happy about that. And so we need to continue to roll out some of the things that many of you have already done, like Office 365 and Meraki. And this year we're looking at kind of improving our private funding, because we need more private fundraising to really help us do the work that we need to do. Currently, the largest program we have is in South Sudan. We have been there for more than 20 years. And it's a place where we continue to have to kind of evacuate out of the site, go back in. People live in bomb shelter for 2 weeks. So that's kind of the environment that we're in, and having connectivity isn't always so easy. But then we have warehouses in there and all of that. So I look to learn from you as to how you have solved some of those problems. And as Alex said, I was very privileged to be on the agenda steering committee, and thanks, Frederick, for putting up with us. So I really look forward to meeting more of you and learn more about what you've been doing and share a little about what we Little Midair have been doing as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to now introduce Jacqueline Di Camillo from Pro Mujer. Pro Mujer is our first member that we've had representing the Global South. They were founded there, and I'd like to welcome Jacqueline. And would you like to start with the video first? And we'll start with that video, please, Alex.
Mi nombre es María Alejandra Rodríguez Martínez. Vivo en Carazo, Jinotepe, Nicaragua. Tuve una vida muy dura desde mi niñez. Quedé huérfana cuando tenía 7 años. Mi madre murió y fue por un accidente. Y mi papá nunca lo conocí. Pero es duro para una mujer soltera que esté sola y con 3 hijos. Dormíamos juntos en una misma cama. Yo les decía, yo un día ellos van a tener su propia cama. No se preocupen. Trabajar en el mercado tenía que vender más, tenía que buscar para sobrevivir yo. No todo es permanente en esta vida. Me acuerdo que un día se me acercó una señora que mucho le estimaba y viene y me dice, doña Alejandra, vaya a ver que allá están reuniendo a Pro Mujer. Se van a formar grupos de crédito. Y me voy rápido yo con mi delantal con todo. Entonces, como todo el mundo me conoce, véngase a mi grupo, doña Alejandra, véngase a mi grupo. Y entonces, y así fue. Estando allí, bueno, me eligieron como presidenta del grupo. Allí en Pro Mujer me prestaron con $100. ¿Qué institución es esa que va a tener la confianza que esa mujer le va a pagar a Pro Mujer? Sin ninguna garantía. Nadie, porque yo lo viví. Ya había vendido tortillas, ya había vendido pues muchas cosas. Déjenmelo siempre a mí y yo voy a vender artículos de ferretería. Entonces yo dije, ¿por qué no voy a poder?
Mi nombre es Giselle del Carmen Larios Mercado. Tengo 5 años de trabajar en Pro Mujer. Trabajo como asesora de banca comunal, trabajo de campo.
¿Cómo no fue en el negocio?
Es algo total bien diferente que nos hace seres diferentes a las otras. Que les enseñamos cómo invertir en su negocio, hablamos sobre la salud, lo básico para prevenir las enfermedades.
Y entonces, y dice Giselle, viene y me dice, doña Alejandra, usted tiene que hacerse el papa.
Yo siempre le digo a mis clientas, si hay salud en un hogar, está feliz la familia, está creciendo el negocio y somos personas importantes en la sociedad.
Nos miramos como familia, nosotras. Entonces le digo yo, bueno, ni modo, pues me lo voy a tener que hacer. Y me comienza a decir el doctor que existían enfermedades. Es cervicuterino, doña Alejandra, pero le está empezando, es poquito lo que usted tiene, dice. Y entonces, y decía yo, ¿cómo decirle a mis hijos que tengo cáncer? Y me acuerdo de que yo andaba como aturdida. Y lloré. Mis hijos, decía yo, van a quedar sin madre a esta edad.
Yo en el momento que doña Alejandra, ella tuvo su enfermedad, yo era la asesora que estaba con ella, ella no me dijo qué era realmente lo que tenía.
Ya no tengo más el préstamo porque quiero empresa de préstamo le va a prestar a una persona con cáncer. Pero ¿cuál fue mi sorpresa cuando vinieron aquí? Vino la asesora con las mujeres, estas compañeras. Dice, doña Alejandra, venimos aquí donde usted para que usted firme su crédito. ¿Lo va a querer, verdad? Me dice. Me sentí indefensa de poder en ese momento decirle gracias. Eso fue algo más que humano para mí, esa hermandad, ese compañerismo, esa identificación con nuestras necesidades, no solamente económicas. Yo necesitaba que alguien creyera en mí. Yo toqué puertas en diferentes lugares y no las encontré. Pero Promujer me abrió puertas. Un año después me dijeron, usted está libre del cáncer. Y me dijeron, usted es una mujer fuerte, usted es una mujer valiente, vaya y enfréntese con la vida, porque tiene una oportunidad más. Ya no vendo artículos de ferretería, ahora es una ferretería la que tengo, Ferretería Los Gemelos.
El trabajo de Promujer es bonito, lo que hacemos. Me encanta lo que hago. He cambiado bastante porque ahora tengo el hábito de ahorrar. Uno anda por la vida y no sabe qué le va a pasar.
Habemos mujeres que por falta de capacidad económica nos estancamos. Entonces Promujer llega y nos saca con un crédito, nos saca de ese atolladero que estamos.
Me siento orgullosa cuando las clientas se te arriman y te dicen, gracias a Promujer he logrado, mire, mi negocio era chiquito y ahora está grandote.
Yo necesitaba que alguien creyera en mí. Si no hubiera estado Promujer, me veo solamente sobreviviendo. Sí, no viviendo. Hoy no sobrevivo, hoy vivo. Solamente les cuento parte de mi vida.
Thank you. Good afternoon. As maybe the first institution in Latin America, I can start talking Portuguese. Boa tarde. As part of my Brazilian, I'm part Italian. Now you know a little bit more what it's Promujer and what you are doing. That is just one case of the 300,000 women we served last year in Latin America. You have services in Mexico, Nicaragua, Peru, Argentina, and Bolivia, providing three main services: healthcare, as you can see, microfinance, and education. I assumed as a CTO position last year. I know that it's complicated to tell as a woman, that I have 30 years experience in technology. I have a PhD in engineer. And after my experience in another no-profit institution, I decided to take a break to really rethink how I can use my expertise in technology for a no-profit institutions. And I made a 2 master's degree, one in sociology and another in philosophy. And now I assume my position in Promujer because now I know how I can leverage technology in a no-profit environment. Because I think that technology is not anymore a support area. It's not that someone knock the door and say, hey, Jackie, I need a ERP system. Hey, Jackie, I need a core bank application. No, not anymore. It's not kind of means that technology cannot be able to provide. But now technology needs to be seen as part of the executive commitment. Needs to be part of the decisions of the institution. Needed to be part of the service that you provide for each one in our institutions. That's why I decided that technology is not the end in itself. It's a tool, to empower people and communities to become self-sufficient and meet their basic needs. To help people reach their fulfillment, give them access to information critical for change and empowerment. If they don't have access to technology, if they don't have access to the information, how you can empower the women we serve in Latin America? Technology is much more than system. Technology is a tool. It's a very powerful tool. That's why I'm proud to be part of NetHope. I'm glad to be here with all my colleagues to share experience, to share how you can empower the people you serve around the world. That's the key function of the IT leader nowadays.
I know that connectivity is a priority. Of course, everybody's always asking for connectivity. For many years, you're talking about bandwidth and connectivity. I know that it's crucial. For us in healthcare, of course, we are looking for an EMR system. We are talking about health education. In terms of microfinance, for sure, you're looking for a new core bank application. And education, of course, online training. But again, why you are thinking to go beyond about it? How you can move forward? What is the next steps for technology? For example, we are talking about data science, data security. But it's the time to think what is the added value of the data. It's not about data security. It's a little bit more than that. What is the business intelligence behind the data that you are managing? You have 25 years with Promo here. What is the information? How I can leverage value as a technology leader? That's my function. And I'd like to share with you this week, all my experience in Latin America and how I can provide the best technology available to support my institution. And hopefully you can help me, to share experience. If you can see me around, say hello and share your experience. I'm more than able to support NetHope and share much more than experience, maybe a coffee or whatever. I'm here to bring my 30 years experience, in technology. It was a pleasure to be here.
I should mention that Jacqueline was one of our, was at our first Latin American chapter meeting, which happened in June. So it was a very successful meeting, and Jacqueline was there and participated in that. I'd like to end our introductions with Welthungerhilfe, with Linda. Oh, hi, Linda. Welthungerhilfe joined this year. They're one of Germany's largest NGO and one of our first German NGOs. Welcome, Linda.
For a world without hunger. That's Welthungerhilfe stands for. This is our logo, and yes, as Alex mentioned, one of the largest NGO in Germany, and we work since 52 years in fighting hunger. Our goal, zero hunger wherever we work. That was just announced 2 weeks ago from the CEO as a new strategy. So where we work in 71 different countries in the world, and to be honest, this is only the map where our IT staff is working in 41 different countries. I'm here with my colleague Norbert Albesmann. And yes, maybe a little bit about our IT. We are just working on a new IT strategy, and this is our mission: go digital, go mobile, and go international. Yes, we need to work together around the world to get internet connectivity, to work on systems, and a lot of things to do. Our core mission is to foster communication and collaboration. It's more about connecting people than IT systems or whatever we are working on, because out there the people need to talk, to collaborate, so that we can ensure that the help is going where the help is needed the most. Yes, and the next one we are working on is helping our business departments to get their business processes ready, efficiency, and yes, so that they can work in an efficient way. So maybe IT is just an invisible part, but a very important one. Yes, and the new challenges. Think of digital, and we have a lot of things to discuss this week It's about how we increase analytical capabilities for decision making. Everything is going to be faster, and we need IT to leverage those possibilities possible with IT. Yes, we are just a new member with IT, so we are really happy to be with you this week. First summit. To exchange ideas, to learn from each other and discuss solutions and to collaborate. I think together we are really able to achieve results and to leverage impact for a better world. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us to welcome our new members. Before we finish up, I would just like to take a minute to ask the chair of our membership committee, Thomas, just to stand up for a minute and recognize him and the membership committee who spends a lot of time. Oh, yes, Michael, yes, of course. And I'm trying to look and see who else is here from the membership committee. But they spend a lot of time thinking about you, our members, thinking about what kind of members we want to bring in, how we want to shape NetHope, and how to welcome our new members to make sure that they are make the most out of NetHope. So thank you, Thomas, and for your leadership and the rest of the membership community.
Thank you, Alex. And thank you to all of our, you guys hear me? You guys can hear me. Thank you all for taking a moment to introduce yourselves and let us know a little bit about your organizations. If you had told me maybe 10 days ago that Jan Egeland would say that NetHope was the best thing since Santa Claus, I wouldn't have believed it, but I think that's not a bad way to start the day. And certainly not a bad way to start the week. And let's see if we can live up to being Santa Claus. We have a little bit of a break now. You're going to get a few extra moments. And then we will come back this afternoon to start a number of keynotes with a number of insightful comments about what it really means to embrace this notion of using technology well, of being digital, of how some organizations are doing it, and then to hear from a panel of some of our member CEOs around what their thinking is and how they are thinking about making this transition to making the most of our technology investments and making this transition to digital. So with that, I will close our kickoff session. The official business, our looking back, our welcoming, our details are largely now done for the summit, and now we get to turn into the big ideas portion of the week. So go get your coffee, take a break, say hello to someone you haven't met before, and we'll reconvene here at 3:15 to kick off the afternoon program. Thank you, everyone.